Remember to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. What's up everyone, I'm the Kaiju no Kami from the Toku Animation News Network, and today I'm taking a look at the second issue to Return to Skull Island. Return to Skull Island's first issue was a congregated mess. The issue kicked off in the middle of a story with the expectation the reader would instantly know who the characters were and what was happening. It turned out the series takes place during the Netflix cartoon series, but there was nothing in the comic to indicate the reader had homework to do before jumping in, which was not a good sign. The least they could have done was use narration at the start to introduce the characters to newcomers. Anyway, we were introduced to a boy named Charlie who was in trouble with the natives for stealing sacred items. They tried to sacrifice him, but he was rescued by his dad, only for the two of them to be recaptured. They were then taken to a mountain where an injured Kong sat recovering from a previous fight. Meanwhile, there is apparently some living tar trying to take over the island. What will happen to Charlie and his dad? Will Kong get better? Watch to find out. The characters and plot. There seems to be a bit of a time jump between the two issues, with two plots running throughout. The first plot revolves around Annie being forced to adjust to a normal life with her mom. She gets expelled from school for knocking out a bully by picturing him as some sort of monster from Skull Island. She sneaks into a Monarch facility to free her dog monster with Mike and another guy named Guy. They plot to return to Skull Island to rescue Charlie and his dad, but things do not go as they planned. Speaking of Charlie, he was apparently eaten by a monster and had to be rescued by Kaya at the start of his tale. His dad continues to aid Kong until a new threat emerges, requiring Kong to battle. I enjoyed there being two separate plot points going on, though the time jump did make things a bit weird. However, I feel it distancing itself a bit from the first issue helped rather than hinder it. You get a sense of who Annie is in this story. Still, I can't say it's anything that hasn't been done before and better. The monsters. Still nobody we know from the movies beyond Kong. There were some giant insects, the living tar thing, and this giant creature who looks like he might be a fun guy. I'm curious to know more about this thing, as a giant walking mushroom can be molded into something amazing, as long as they don't spoil the idea. The artwork. Jones's art remains incredible. There were a lot of night sequences in this issue, which allowed the colorful characters to pop off the pages. Additionally, the blacks used for shadows were impressive, especially the big fight between Kong and Matango Jr. and this panel here between Sam and Irene. I like the blur effect that's used during the scene on the docks when authorities shine their lights on Annie and gang. Overall, I'm still not a fan of the way they introduced this comic, but moving past that, I enjoyed this issue a lot more than I thought I would. I just hope the story has something worthwhile to tell. Until next time, bye.